Welcome to Dubs Talk Live, presented by Mancini Sleep World. I'm Zena, joined by Festus, Ezeli. I cannot believe that this is the last Dubs Talk Live of the season. Feels surreal.
Should we do our handshake one last time?
We'll do that at the end. Come on, at the end.
We do it start at the end.
Okay, come on. All right, we got to open things up, guys.
Let's go. All right.
If you guys remember, Festus and I started out on the court earlier this season, not knowing that April 16th would be the end of the Warriors' year, falling to their NorCal rivals, the Sacramento Kings, 118-94, a blowout loss for the Warriors. Absolutely unexpected, but also something that if you looked at the course of the year, Festus, you probably could have predicted. So I want to start out the show first kind of understanding, how did the Warriors get here?
Well, there's a lot of things you could attribute this loss and this early exit to. One of them is the Warriors had, I think, 13 games this season where they blew double-digit leads that resulted in a loss.
Right.
And if you say just 5 of those games ended up being wins, and we're talking about totally different scenario where the Warriors are actually in the playoffs and they're preparing for their next game. Instead, they're in the play-in in a single elimination game going against the Sacramento Kings, who are one of the top 10 offensive teams in the NBA. And tonight, even if the Sacramento Kings lost 2 of their really important key players, they still had a lights-out night. You had De'Aaron Fox, who was very special. Sabonis came in the game. He was facilitating. He had a bone to pick with Draymond after last year's exit. Draymond outplayed him last year. He came in with a focused intensity this season. And they had Keita Ellis came and played. I mean, the Sacramento Kings just put on a defensive experience,
showcase.
what I would call it.
It was a showcase.
It was a showcase.
Yeah.
That was amazing by them. And the Warriors just looked like they were outplayed, out-physical. And all the things that the Warriors have struggled with all year long came to bite them in the end.
Out-hustled, everything that you're mentioning, it just looked as if it was kind of the final nail in the coffin for what has been, as you mentioned, plaguing the Warriors all year long. So let's actually break this down and go step by step, particularly for tonight's game. You look at the first quarter all the way throughout the rest of the game, the stagnant offense. That was what stood out to me. But when you think about what was causing that stagnant offense, I'm looking at the defense. What could you say about what the Kings were doing to impose themselves on the Warriors?
The Kings did a great job of not letting Steph Curry beat them. And what that means is last season they saw Steph Curry, he went off for 50 points in the Game 7 last season. So even talking to some of their coaches before the game tonight, they said anything can happen, but this one thing cannot happen. Steph Curry can't beat us. And so they came in with this physical mindset saying, we're going to be physical with him every time. That caused some turnovers, led to some offensive points for them, let their guys get into a rhythm. But also, the Warriors were also trying to double team De'Aaron Fox on the other end. So both similar game plans, but it comes down to execution. And the Sacramento Kings were able to take advantage of the fact that De'Aaron Fox was getting their defense out of alignment. And so Sabonis, Harrison Barnes, Keita Ellis, Keegan Murray, all these guys were all having great nights because they got great looks because 2 defenders were going at De'Aaron Fox. On the Warriors' end, 2 defenders were going to Steph from the Sacramento Kings, and the Warriors could not take advantage of that. The ball was stagnant. It made them take tough shots. Everyone around the Warriors organization, around the Warriors team, they took shots they were not comfortable with taking.
Right.
And you just got to give credit to the Sacramento Kings defense for that.
And that defense translated. The turnovers for the Warriors were the #1 problem. Ended up with 16 turnovers, handing over 20 points. It was turnovers that were caused by defense sometimes, and then also stepping outside of the bounds of the court. It was interesting in the way that the Warriors were completely discombobulated out there on the floor. Now, this isn't just the Sacramento Kings, though. This has been a problem all year long. How do you fix something like this for the Warriors that like to play fast?
Well, Zena, you know how they say God doesn't like ugly? Like, I really think about that because, like, you just think about all the things that have gone wrong. You think about the suspensions. You think about, you know, the part of the season where the Warriors just they lacked a lot of chemistry. All these things just come back to bite you in the end. Sacramento Kings, they've had their own fair share of a year, but they've been consistent. You see Mike Brown has just been beating into this team. We cannot lose the same way we lost last year. And they came back this season, Sacramento, feeling like they had something to prove. They had an incredible season last season, #1 in scoring in the NBA, and lost to the Golden State Warriors in 7 games in the series. So they felt like coming into the season, they just couldn't make that same mistake again. The Warriors, on the other hand, if you think about this season, and it goes back to last season, they didn't even give themselves the chance to fight and defend their championship.
Yeah. Right.
Last season,
right,
because they had so much controversy starting off the season, the whole year. Like, even me as a broadcaster, I had to sit here and answer questions about a situation that had nothing to do with basketball.
Right.
So if you think about it that way, and you think about this season as well, how much off the court stuff that you had to talk about rather than just basketball, purely basketball stuff, then you think about the distractions that have taken the Warriors away from their game, which is, all of that is very uncharacteristic to what they've been.
Absolutely. And some of those things were things that were in their control, like you think about Draymond Green suspensions, of course, and then some things out of their control, the passing of a beloved coach. There has been such a tumultuous season for the Warriors leading up into this game, and it really is what adds to the demoralizing factor of this loss. Now, one of the things that you mentioned, and I saw you looking at and particularly calling out throughout the entirety of this game, was the physicality. Whoo! The referees let things happen tonight. And I would say it was on both sides, but it absolutely felt like those driveway battles between the little brother, big brother, and little brother grew up on the Warriors for sure tonight.
Oh, for sure, Zena. The little brother came with a chip on his shoulder.
Right.
And tonight really took it to the Warriors. The Sacramento Kings, you call them the little brother because there's a lot of roots, a lot of familiarity here. The coach, Mike Brown, came from the Golden State Warriors organization. You have a coach in Leandro Barbosa, a former player from the Warriors who I played with, Harrison Barnes. We both played for the Warriors. We won a championship here. He is the leader, veteran leader for the Sacramento Kings. So with all those roots and all those connections, you call them the little brother. But really, this is a seasoned team at this point. They've had some experience, and they're looking to make a push here in the postseason. Warriors were just, they were outmanned, physical. Like, they came into this game saying, if you're going to beat us, you have to beat us on all fronts. The Warriors are #1 in rebounding. Tonight, they were out-rebounding on the offensive glass, second chance points, turnovers, fast break points. The Kings did everything that they wanted to do, and the Warriors had no answer for them.
I mean, specifically looking at that, out-hustled 25 second chance points for the Sacramento Kings, only 9 for the Warriors. When you look at the second chance points as well, 25-9 for the second chance points, and then the fast break points, 12 points to 6. Only 8 turnovers for the Sacramento Kings as well. So they took care of the ball, and then they made sure you had to hustle and work hard for it when you had the ball.
It took care of their business.
They took care of
their own business and took you out of character. That's exactly what the whole game plan was make the Warriors play left-handed. That's a Draymond Green quote right there. He says, make them play left-handed. And what that means is take them out of character. Make them do things that they don't normally do. Make them take shots that they don't normally take. And you saw shot after shot after shot, possessions really not capitalized on. Even when the Warriors were making a run back, the Sacramento Kings will respond with a layup, a wide-open three. These are things that you have to, over the course of the season, you have to find the chemistry with your teammates to understand that when you are in the foxhole, you have something that you can rely on. I don't think the Warriors had a big enough sample size this season of times where they could really rely on their team.
That's a really great point. And I think it was also a really great pun, in the foxhole. You guys know Fox? Because Fox went off. Okay. Good job. I don't know if that's good for the Warriors fans, but either way, that's exactly right. With the Warriors, I'm thinking this year for them was underwhelming. As hopeful as their demeanor was, it was underwhelming, and it felt like it translated into this game. Only down 4 points going into the half, 50-54. They ended that second quarter going on a 16-6 run, and then it also seemed like the history of what the Warriors were done to them in the second half. They're known as the third quarter Warriors. They weren't this year, but they're known as the third quarter Warriors. And what happened? Sacramento ended up being the third quarter Warriors, ending up scoring 37 points on them in that second quarter. I have to ask, when you played and you went up against the team that you, in your mind, felt like, we got this, we're going to get this win, was there ever a team that shocked you, and how did you respond to that?
that a trick question?
No, not at all. I kind of know what you might say, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you end up being in situations. You know, I was lucky enough to be a part of the team, and we won a championship. But I was also part of the team that lost the championship, and we lost momentum. Being up 3-1, lost momentum. We had a suspension of Draymond. We had injuries and all these things that happened. And then you're left in a Game 7, a one-game situation where anything can happen. Kyrie and LeBron go crazy, and that you leave it up to the last second shot where he makes the shot, and now you lost the finals. This is one of those games where it's a one-game elimination, and so anything can happen. And the Warriors put themselves in this situation where they're in a 10, they're the 10 seed trying to make their run back. It was an uphill climb anyway. You have to win 2 road games to be able to make the playoffs. That in itself was going to be an uphill battle. But the Warriors, they've shown that whenever their backs are against the wall, they can respond. So we all had hope. But tonight, going against the Sacramento Kings, they were just a better prepared team.
Better prepared team. All right, well, those are some of the sad notes of this game, but there was one person that added a spark to the Warriors game. We're definitely going to make sure he gets his spotlight on the other side of this break. It's Dubs Talk Live, presented by Mancini Sleep World. Don't go anywhere.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Mancini Sleep World. Visit Mancini Sleep World during our We'll Pay the Sales Tax event. Save big on premium mattresses, plus free delivery. Hurry in now or visit us online at sleepworld.com.
All righty, YouTube. YouTube fam.
Are we on YouTube now?
We are on YouTube, and
What's
man,
up,
we
y'all?
have had a family this year joining us on YouTube. We appreciate you guys coming on, talking with us, keeping up with us. There's like a whole fam: Otis, Kat,
How much longer can I keep up this
Eric
facade?
Gomez.
I'm very sad. The season's over. I can't.
I know.
Like, I don't know.
It's surreal. It seems very surreal, and it was very hard to watch that happen. It just felt as if you weren't just watching a game end, you were watching something bigger than that. And again, like I said, there's these parallels that keep showing up in the way that they lost this game. Felt like it was the way that the season was being lost. Like the streaks that they were having, the ups and downs that they were having, the turnovers being the theme of this game, the being out physicaled, it just felt very much like it was a theme of the year being played out in this game.
I hope people can watch this because sports is a metaphor for life. I hope you understand that, like, you are what you repeatedly do. Like, if you continue to have turnovers, and turnovers could be whatever in your life, right? Like, your habits continue to show themselves in different parts, and you don't just get to turn it on and off.
Right.
If turnovers have been a habit, if we have talked about it for game after game after game, and we come here to a game that's must win, you don't just get to turn that off and say, okay, well, no more turnovers, because you've practiced this, you've done it over and over. The Warriors are a very talented team, and you really are hoping that they're able to bring this team back and find a way to where they can have a year to run it back. But this was really a sad ending to a year that was a roller coaster one.
Definitely seeing that throughout the chat. Stuff. Folks, we are officially 100 days out from the Paris Olympics, and the countdown is on. Tune in this summer on NBC and Peacock to see the greatest athletes in the world
Let's go.
go for gold in the City of Light. My hometown,
Paris!
Paris. I'm so excited.
Oui, oui.
I think that this is great for Paris to be able to kind of revamp themselves. I think there's been so much construction and so many things happening to be able to welcome the world to Paris. And so, of course, it's a great city to visit, but to have all the lights on for the athletes, including now Steph Curry, that was named to the Team USA roster today. Of course, that's very exciting to have them all descend upon Paris. Now, before Steph Curry goes off, we got to break down this game that he played in tonight where the Warriors lost to the Sacramento Kings.
Before we even go into this game, I want to say something because I remember in 2014, Steph going to play for the world and playing for the USA against the world. in it wasn't the Olympics, it was the World Cup, I think.
FIBA.
FIBA, and I understand how much that and it really helps support a player coming in the following season. The following season was his first MVP year, and he goes on to win a unanimous MVP the following year after that. So I'm excited for Steph Curry to have this rejuvenation and go into the summer, go play in the Olympics. Is going to be just something to get this bad taste out of your mouth. I feel like the Avengers are assembled with Steph, LeBron, AD. All these guys are going to be Steph, LeBron, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
All these guys are going to be very special to watch. And what could be the last Olympic combination of all those guys together?
Absolutely. This is probably the most anticipated Team USA since the Beijing group in 08 with Kobe. And the Redeem Team, as they were called, right? The Dream Team way back in 92, Chris Mullin, shout out to him. And then 2008 Redeem Team, they've got to figure out a cool moniker for this team as well. Steph Curry.
It's your hometown, so maybe you come up with something.
I mean, maybe it's something in French. I'll think about that. You
talk to NBC so we can.
We'll figure it out.
We got a bunch of time now, so
we don't have enough time. We got to talk about somebody special in this game, Festus. Moses Moody, folks. He's our BMW Ultimate Performer of the game, our last one for the year. And really, what Moses Moody has done for this team all year long showed up in this game. He was the person that gave a spark earlier on in this game, came in, immediate impact scoring, being able to have some assists, being able to hustle, get some offensive rebounds, and then do this. This is the thing that he's been able to do. Moses Moody shooting. What do you think of his game tonight?
One of the few positives tonight was Moses Moody's game. And I keep saying, you are what you repeatedly do. Moses Moody has been stay ready so you don't have to get ready, Moody, all year long. And he's proved his position this season. Here you have, he's averaged 17 minutes a game, 8 points a game. He's been incredible from the three-point line, 36%. Tonight, you saw the whole plethora of his offensive arsenal and also defensive prowess. Ability to guard on one end, go to the other end, make plays, hit shots when he's open, and also make plays going to the rim. Moses Moody has been making his case all year long, and I want to see more of Moses Moody next year. I want to see him on the floor. I want to see him have consistent minutes. He's a guy that has shown his toughness, his griminess, his want to, his will. It's been showing all year long, and you just can't deny a guy like that.
He's a person that has evolved over the year. Seeing his defense improve, especially in the half court, and then, of course, his ability to stay ready, come in, get some big shots. Now, speaking of big shots, there was someone that didn't make any tonight for the Warriors. Wow. That is Klay Thompson. Went 0 of 10 from the floor tonight, and as he exited the building, Anthony Slater from The Athletic captured him taking a pause here, looking around, and kind of soaking in the last bit of crowd that was left. There were a few Warriors fans in the stands, and you could tell as Gary Payton II there pats him on the chest, this was a sentimental moment for him.
This is a sentimental moment for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this. This is like this feels very sad, to watch Klay. And what he's been for this franchise, we've seen him break so many records. We've seen Klay Thompson as an incredible shooter, one of the best this NBA has ever seen. We saw 37 in a quarter. We saw him score 60 points on just 11 dribbles in 3 quarters. So as a scorer, he's one of the best. And this game, back to the Sacramento Kings defense, they did a great job of just really taking the Warriors off their rhythm. Warriors offense is all about on-time passes, making sure you catch the ball in rhythm. And from the start of the game, it was forced shots that led to turnovers. It was off-rhythm plays, and they just never could get in sync. But Klay Thompson having 0 points in this game, it's a tough blow. And for a guy with a lot of questions of if he's coming back next year or not, you can see Steve Kerr, Draymond, they're already lobbying for Klay Thompson to come back next season. He's been an incredible teammate. He's one of the reasons why this Warriors franchise and dynasty has been a thing. And his fight has been something that's been very admirable over the years. It's crazy. He's had 2 near career-ending injuries, and for him to be back playing the way he is right now says a lot about his character.
It's a great point. And tonight's game was very much an aberration from what Klay Thompson has been able to provide this Warriors team, averaging 18 points. I mean, he's had solid numbers all year. Of course, this did not help tonight. But as Steph Curry mentioned, you can't relate what is going to happen in the offseason to this one game. You've got to look at his career. You've got to look at this whole season. Another person to look at their entire season and their contribution, Andrew Wiggins. When you think about two players within that core for the Warriors that won that 2022 championship, Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins were two of the players that had some ups and downs. And Andrew Wiggins was not absent of that this season. But he closed out on a more positive note. Tonight was interesting in terms of his ability to get to the bucket. He was able to do that, but then he took some uncharacteristic three-point shots that weren't within his game. Would you say that Andrew Wiggins tonight showed his best ability for the Warriors?
Well, if you look at De'Aaron Fox had 24 points on 25 shots. It's a good defensive night for Andrew Wiggins. Playing him full court, he's pushing him to the limits, he's making sure he moves the ball. So that's what he brings on the defensive end. Offensively, the Warriors team are a different team, the Warriors are, when Andrew Wiggins is aggressive.
Right.
When he's making shots, when he's able to drive to the rim, his athletic ability, it gives him gives the Warriors a different dimension offensively. So you want him to play to his best. This season has been up and down for him as well because he's had some personal matters that's taken him out the game. And we're human. You know, athletes are human as well. And so it's taken him a while to get adjusted to this season as well. But Andrew Wiggins is one of those guys that does a lot for the Warriors, and you want him at his best for the Warriors to reach their full potential. Absolutely.
Well, when we come back, we got to start looking ahead. Cannot believe this. It's already time for, quote, summer? Whoa. All right, off-season discussion starting already. On the other side of this break, don't go anywhere. All right, YouTube. Eric Gomez with the quote, "The Sac knows the Dubs too well."
I mean, yeah, but in any playoff series, I think the two teams, like think about playing to a Game 7. Both teams know each other very well. And so it just comes down to execution. And tonight, Sacramento Kings just wanted it more. They felt like this was their revenge for last year.
Yeah.
And when you have a team that plays with that kind of edge, then it's hard to beat.
I would agree with that. Carol Hearn, I'm sad. We're sad too.
I am very sad.
Yeah, it's.
I cannot believe. What are you doing for? Are you going somewhere?
Well, now I mean maybe.
Now you gotta start planning.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on being off this early.
I wasn't either. I was already telling people don't get married, don't have babies during this time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I tell all my friends try to hold off. It's basketball season, guys. Basketball season, guys. You gotta prioritize things. I'm just joking. Someone just asked if you could sing "End of the Road" by Boyz II Men.
I don't know the words.
It was a request.
End of the road, still I can't let it go.
Almost there.
Here's a natural. You belong to me. I belong to you.
You gotta hit that note. Come on now. You. Okay, there he goes. Here we go. Let's keep going.
Man, I'm so sad. I can't believe the season's over. I had such high hopes.
More Moses Moody minutes.
For sure. More Moses Moody, I guess next year. So we look forward to.
I do hope that, GP2's okay. Of course, he had to sit out this night and the other night, too. All right, welcome back into Dubs Talk Live. We have to look at this Warriors season in a whole. 46-36. Even with 46 wins, still ending up in the 10th seed. The West is getting better, folks. But here's the mediocre part. 21-20 at home, while they were making records 25-16 away. Since January 30th, they had the second best record in the NBA behind the Boston Celtics, but it didn't mean anything. Ended up 8th in points per game. That's top 10 offense. Great. It's not bad going into the next year.
But
opponents wasn't top 10.
Oh, so you need defense?
Defense. Okay, Festus. Melly's not here. You don't have to make the case here.
We keep arguing about what's really important, offense or defense. Sacramento Kings actually proved the point tonight.
I'm well aware.
The Kings' defense is the reason why they won tonight. They stifled
That's
the Warriors'
right.
offense, and that's the whole point. I've never said the offense is not important. I said everyone can score. The difference in the game is the people who can play defense, because offense it's uncontrollable. Not just uncontrollable, it varies. Like, you never know. Sometimes you make shots, sometimes you don't. But if you have a defense to hold the team within striking range and striking distance, then you can, when your offense comes back, then you can go on to win the game. And tonight, the Warriors' offense was not firing, and the defense couldn't even get a chance to stop the Kings because they were turning the ball over so much, and so the Kings were just running off in transition. So these are the things that you think about. You think about the home record versus the road record. Can't really explain it because the home crowd is supposed to give you energy, like the Kings crowd did tonight for the Sacramento Kings players. Just a lot of energy in that building. Gave them so much, juice to be able to fly around, get rebounds, second chance points, run out in transition.
Deep breath, exhale, folks. We got to start looking at what are the Warriors going to do in the offseason. Think about the free agents on this roster. Of course, the number one on everyone's mind, Klay Thompson. You saw him looking around, soaking it in. Is that potentially the last time we'll see Klay Thompson in a Warriors jersey? Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, all hoping and anticipating that it's not. There's also Gary Payton, Dario Saric, of course, Chris Paul having to pick up a $30 million one-year option. There's a lot of movement that the Warriors could have this offseason, and they obviously do need to move if they're looking to try and capitalize on the last few years, particularly of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and even Klay Thompson.
Well, Zena, that's every offseason. I've done this job for now. This is my second season. So I came here second 2.5 years I've done this job. And since I got here, every offseason, there's been questions about contracts. Whether it was contracts with Draymond when I first got here, or Bob Myers last year and Steve Kerr, or Klay now, and then Chris Paul and GP. So there's always that part of the game. The Warriors have the highest luxury tax, the highest bill in the NBA. So those are questions that you'll naturally have. But it's a good question to have because you still have Steph Curry on your team, so you can still figure out a way to build around it.
Ding, ding, ding. You still have Steph Curry. All right, folks. The Warriors season ends today. Appreciate you all for allowing me into the Dubs Talk Live family. Festus, Ezeli,
I guess you can follow
Zena,
us all summer
Keita.
long.
Follow us this summer.
We
might
might be in Paris. We'll be here in the Bay.
We'll be somewhere. We got time to plan now. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dubs Talk Live all season long. We appreciate you. Shout out to our producers, Dan, Flo, everybody in the room. Good night. All righty, YouTube fam.
YouTube, what's going on, y'all? Y'all good? Y'all okay? Because I'm not okay, but I hope you guys are okay.
Man, we got a compliment that we were very entertaining to watch. I'll let you read what the rest said. The Warriors.
Oh, we're more entertained to watch than the Warriors tonight? Of course we are more entertained.
Oh,
Nobody wanted to
man.
watch that game.
Also, shout out to Catherine Gibson. Her godson is graduating high school. Literal family in here.
Congratulations.
It's dope.
That's a big
It's
deal.
dope.
That's amazing.
Annis Brown was very enthusiastic that you knew the lyrics to End of the Road.
I don't even know if I said it right, but thank you.
You
very
did.
much.
You did. I actually quoted End of the Road in my senior speech at high school graduation.
Wow. I
did.
would not put that past you. That
Yeah.
actually is very easy. Why did you not sing it, though, is what I want to
I
know.
absolutely did not sing it. I just quoted it. All righty. This, Carlos Miranda, this is good for the Warriors. I won't read the rest of that because I didn't read it until.
I won't read it.
No,
I'll
you will
read it.
not.
Let me see.
We do not need to be
They
shut
will
down.
probably use their something mind to get the best talent. You're not
Lord.
wrong. But I don't fully agree that it's a talent problem. I think it's a chemistry problem. This season was, and they just need to get it right.
Yeah.
Get it right. Get back.
Get it right. Get it back.
Follow
Guess
us
what?
all summer long. We'll
6
be on
months.
Instagram, running around, trying to figure out what's going on. This is a long off season.
Long
I'm
off
gonna
season.
do all 6 months.
Guess what time it is, folks?
That's a lot of traveling.
WNBA season, baby.
Can I call WNBA games?
Good night, y'all.
I'm gonna just be
We
on the side
appreciate
of
you
the road.
tuning
Like
in.
I will call games for
Festus,
free.
let it go. Let it
I'll
go.
call games
night,
anywhere.
folks.
Can y'all hire me?